Damn, Pauli Malignaggi. Absolutely breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. And is this the fate? Is this the fate of Amado Vargas and Fernando Vargas Jr.? You got Pauli Malignaggi, who went yesterday at the age of 45 years old against Rolando Dai, who's a former UAE Warriors MMA champion, a former UFC fighter, a former Brave fighter, now of course in Brave, losing record. The UFC, he won 1 fight, lost 3. The fight that he did win in the UFC is a guy that never won a fight in the UFC, had 3 fights, and that was it. It's history. Nobody ever know what happened to that dude. Literally, nobody knows what happened to him. Rolando Dai, still the son of Rolando Navarrete, former WBC super featherweight champion of the world. Rolando Dai, who's only 34 years old, who can actually chunk it, who has MMA experience, clinch experience in that little triangle ring at BKB, beat the hell out of Pauli Malignaggi. Hit him, clipped him, dropped him. Pauli Malignaggi got up one time. Tried to display his heart, but got dropped for the second time with a huge right hand. He could have got up, but gave up. And it's not just me who's saying Pauli Malignaggi gave up. Ain't nothing bad with that. The dude is 45 years old going up against a 34-year-old. The damage that he took against Artem Lobov. The damage that he took in his last fight against Goodjohn. Pauli Malignaggi finally gave up. And he said this for himself, even thinking that he might regret this someday. But at his age, he just don't have it in him like how he used to have it in him.
Maybe again, I gave in, which I'll probably regret later, but like, okay, it was the right decision, take less damage, what I would have just got up and gone back into those clinches, and it would have just been wearing me out, but, maybe later on, I'll say, man, I should have went out like a warrior, but in the moment, I was like, oh, he said, yo, come on, man, stay down, you don't need it, and I was like, I'm gonna get up and go right back into a clinch, so it's gonna be tough, but, so that was it, I don't know, man. It's probably a decision I wouldn't have made a few years back, so that's another thing that probably tells me it's probably not the time to retire anyway, right? It was a good little run for a year, though, I had a good time. We had a lot.
Yeah, you know what, bro? I'd agree with him because I know for a fact Pauli Malignaggi was a dude who was getting into battles, getting into wars. I just think he don't have it in him no more. Ladies and gentlemen, he fought at 154 pounds against the 154-pound BKB super welterweight champion in Rolando Dai. Pauli Malignaggi came in and weighed in at 150 pounds. He didn't even weigh 154. He weighed in at 149 point something. The dude said before the day of the weigh-in, he was eating burgers. A weight class that he should have never been fighting in. But it gets him, ladies and gentlemen. And all I got to say about this is I got respect for Pauli Malignaggi, bruh. He's 45 years old. I don't give a hell if that dude decided to quit or give up on the floor. Who the hell cares? Screw the damage. You got pro box commentary events coming up, my dog. Everybody loves it. You tell it how it is. You tell the truth. But as I see that, I think to myself, Fernando Vargas Jr. and Amado Vargas Jr. are going to be making their debuts on July 25th. It's been announced. July 25th. They've been signed. And I just think to myself, bruh, Pauli has been in a couple bare-knuckle boxing fights. The second that Amado Vargas and Fernando Vargas Jr. get into the ring with anybody on the level of Artem Lobov, or even a Goodjohn, or even a Rolando Dai, the same fate is going to happen to Amado and Fernando. Bro, I guarantee you. This clinch game is a completely different game. It's completely different. And in that little small triangle ring, god damn, I mean, BKFC, at least that one's a little bit bigger. The BKB ring? Goddamn triangle? Pauli had no chance in a behemoth of a man who looked like, yes, he weighed in at 154 pounds, but a guy who looks like he weighs 175 on the off season and Rolando died. Hey, this got me thinking, man. I could see the same fate happening for the brothers. Not maybe in their first professional fight at BKB, because they might just set them up with an absolute bucket. But it's a different game. Will Pauli Malignaggi's fate be the same goddamn fate that Amado Vargas and Fernando Vargas Jr., part of the Vargas dynasty, leading the pack, Emiliano Vargas? My goodness. Let me know what you guys think. It's breaking news. Shout out to Pauli. At least the dude didn't walk away with 2 broken hands and his face ripped apart, sitting in a goddamn hospital for hours. My goodness.